Alrighty. So I guess talking with your mute button on is not going to get you heard. Well, let's try this again. Hey guys. So usually I do a gaming stream or whatever once in a while, but didn't really feel like doing that today. So we're just gonna go for something a little different, chat and whatever. Stuff that's on my mind is the Alberta separation movement. It's kind of a big deal. It's not just Alberta. Saskatchewan, I believe, is ramping up that kind of rhetoric. So, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of different. I was thinking about the whole movement, and it's really kind of a grassroots movement. It just kind of, it's one of those water cooler things where you get frustrated. Hey, paid, I don't know, $150 to fill up my car. It's not a stretch, when your gas is $1.50 a liter, and that's you have it adds up real fast. So water cooler talk is kind of the way this whole thing has spread. Frustration over $1,000 heating prices for heating your house during the winter, which I don't know, maybe it's not quite that bad, but not that far off either. So it gets pretty expensive pretty dang quick. And then you have, and that's not including the 50 some odd percent taxes that you don't even see. Fun times. So a lot of people have been saying that there's lots of support for this. I've seen lots of support for it, primarily because of the last 9.5, 10 years now. Um, and lots of people just tired of dealing with, you know, the liberals. And I think now that the liberals are officially in power, it's only going to accelerate the separation talks. So, and the deep state is probably going to play dirty politics and um, just dirty games, smear everybody under the sun, call everybody who's doing this anti whatever, insert smear here. So that's just, I think, what's going to go down. Kind of a lousy way to go about it, but the easier way would just to be address the concerns of the population, right? I saw a Premier Danielle Smith. She did a press conference yesterday, I believe, and talking about how they're going to challenge uh, emission caps, and I can't even remember, but they're going to court again, and guess what? They're going to win again because last, I don't know, half a dozen times they've gone to court about whatever it is, they always win because the liberals are, and Ottawa in particular, are just overreaching and they have no clue, just no clue. Anyway, it's weird. It's kind of a weird time to be alive. So that's yeah. So fortunately, we have Premier Danielle Smith, and she's a cracker. She's a firecracker. She's hot stuff. She is all about fighting for her province, and I am really glad that she's the premier and not some of the others, Rachel Notley, heck, even uh, Jason Kenney, both horrible premiers. So she's the best premier in Alberta since Ralph Klein, in my opinion. So Ralph Klein was all about uh, Alberta and making Alberta prosper, and Premier Smith is no different. She's all about Alberta, keeping it prosperous, keeping it on track. So yeah, there's that. So mad respect for her. Really appreciate her hard work and stuff. And other news, looks like there's a bit of a shuffle in Trump land. Kind of weird. Mike Waltz is, or Waltz, whatever. Anyway, the I'm pretty sure that's it. He's out as the NSA, whatever. Gosh, you know what? Let's do some looking here. Do. Um, yeah. National Security Advisor. That's what he is. Right. So Mike Wallace is out as National Security Advisor, and he's going to be moving into the UN ambassador thing. I saw a brief blurb is like, oh yeah, Mike Wallace is fired and he's out. Well, yeah, it's true. He is out as the National Security Advisor, but it's just a move to the UN ambassador, which okay, I guess. I'm not a huge fan of that move. I like him as the national security advisor, but what do I know? And I saw in other news that Trump nominated some Democrat for the new national security advisor. And I'm like, are you insane? This is a Democrat. Like, and Laura Loomer did a real good breakdown on this guy's life. Just oh my gosh, you endorsed BLM, donated to Act Blue, donated to Obama, like any Democrat talking point you can think of. This guy's all for it. Pronouns in the bio, woke as fuck, all that stuff. Just like I mean, I personally I hope that the Republicans in the Senate or whatever just look at this guy and be like, hell no, and just do not, because he has to go through Senate confirmation hearings, and I hope he just fails miserably. Personally, no, I'm not a fan. Just not. Nope. But I don't know. Who knows? We'll see. What else is going on in the world? Doom scrolling on Twitter for the win. Let's see. Can I share this here? Share my screen. X. There we go. All right. So yeah, lovely. What do we got here? Oh yeah, see, there you go. Saskatchewan talks about separation in the Western Alliance. Yeah, baby. But then if you looked at the voting map, and there's a whole nother thing about voting in particular. We'll get into that in a little bit. But if you look at the voting map where they went riding by riding, all of basically Saskatchewan and Alberta and British Columbia were almost entirely blue. Like, I mean, I think there was one riding which is northern Saskatchewan. It's like one riding that covers the whole northern province, but there's not many people in that part of the province. So, 5,000 people voting, whatever. So that one riding, I don't hold a lot of water to that particular riding in northern Saskatchewan just because of its sparsely populated nature. So whatever. But the fact that a good portion of lower British Columbia, like the populated parts of British Columbia, turned blue, that's a big deal. Like I don't like people in British Columbia. Like you guys have a better idea of how big of a big deal that is. But that's pretty huge. So just goes to show how much the average Canadian is really truly suffering with everyday living expenses and stuff. So, there's that. Shout out to Kentucky Ballistics. Good gun channel. If you want to go see big boomsticks go boom. Yeah. Joey Swoll. That guy's love Joey Swoll stuff. He's good. Good follow. Oh, CNN. Blah, blah, blah. I don't know why anybody would watch CNN. They just suck so hard. Doom scrolling. Oh, there's the quartering. Native born workers, foreign born workers. Yeah, I'm all for that. GTFO. Like, if you're foreign born, don't want you here, right? I mean, integrate, be here, come here legally. That's a different story. My ancestors were immigrants from Ireland back during the Great Potato Famine. Lots and lots of people fit that bill too. But they integrated, they embraced the American culture. Multiculturalism, no thanks. If you want to be Pakistani or Israeli or whatever, go do that in Pakistan or Israel or Algeria or Congo or wherever you're from. But if you come here, embrace the culture here, right? I don't know. I just don't agree with that a lot. So yeah. So here's this is a good take here. Let's see. Can I share? Is this audio going?
Elected the globalist banker. They elected a globalist banker who has been at the helm of the sinking ship that is Canada for at least the last 5 of the 10 years of Trudeau's Liberal government. It's a devastating election for anybody who wants to see a country survive. And it's devastating now that you are all going to appreciate you left-wing Liberal idiots up in Canada. And by the way, I talk to Liberals up in Canada. I've got Liberals in my immediate friends and or family circle, much more in my friend circle.
Okay. Anyway, the bottom line, the TLDR on that one is a lot of people saw or heard the rhetoric coming out of Pierre Poilievre, Trump hating, all that kind of stuff, and a lot of people voted for the Liberals just to spite Pierre's rhetoric. Go figure. It's just like, you guys realize that the Liberals and Carney in particular were behind all of this crap for the last 10 years. Right? I mean, and here's the news shocker, right? Whatever you want to believe about Carney, he is not going to set aside the carbon tax. It's set to zero temporarily. I've already seen gas prices jump like 15 cents just since he's been elected. In 2 months or less, the gas prices will be $2 a liter up here, guaranteed. Right, or more. I mean, in Alberta, that it's always been under $2, but I can't imagine being back east and paying over $2 a liter. Are you kidding me? That's insanity. So, $2. Wow, that is. How much would that be? So $2. Right. So that's about that's about that's about $8, almost $8 Canadian a US gallon, right? Yeah, that's ridiculous. So not even California pays that, right? California is still around $5.50, $6, but it's going to get so expensive, and I think it's only going to accelerate the whole thing, right? Just the amount of people that are going to really feel the squeeze is only going to increase. So, yeah, that's my viewpoint on it. I know my family is already starting to feel the squeeze, so yeah. Anyway, it's been hard, very hard, but it is what it is. But all you can do is keep doing your best and keep moving forward. There's really nothing else for it. So anyway, so there's that. All right. Oh, Doge. Here's something interesting that they just did. Harvard is losing its tax exempt status, which is pretty big, right? I, I'm not sure how I feel about that. Like, I understand that they negotiating tactic. Sure, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. I'd rather just have them do the right thing and get their stuff together, but they don't seem to want to do that for ideological reasons. Too much drinking of the liberal Kool-Aid or the right wing or the left wing whack job Kool-Aid. I don't know. I don't know. Fun times. Fun times. Interesting times for sure, right? You look at all the stuff happening around the world. So I don't know. Kind of different. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with Denmark. So, haven't heard really anything in that regard. So, kind of want to. I don't know if they're still negotiating or what the heck is going on with that, but kind of interesting. I don't know. Well, blah blah blah. What else? Oh, so and completely not related to politics. I watched The Beekeeper the other day. I thought that was a great. That was great. I loved The Beekeeper. It was good. It really was just typical beat 'em up, kick ass, don't take names. It was good. I liked it. I started watching it. I don't know, a couple months ago, and the opening, I don't know, 5 minutes or so before this lady loses all her money, I kind of just was like, I don't know, maybe I just wasn't in the mood for that. But I just didn't really. I was like, oh, whatever. I know what this is going to be. And so I put it aside. But no, highly recommend The Beekeeper. A Working Man is every bit as good. You could argue that the two exist in the same universe. They're that similar. It's just good, clean fun. Just a good popcorn movie. Take your buddies, take your sons, go see it. Highly recommend it. Or if it's streaming, go stream it. Whatever. It's worth renting, or it's good. Highly recommend. Yeah, those are the last two that I've really. Edge of Tomorrow. I watched that one for the first time. Hadn't watched it when it was originally released, so sat down and thought, people are saying this is good, so I watched it. Yeah, it's good. Really good. Highly recommend that one too. So, if anybody's got any suggestions, let me know. I will be more than happy to check out some other movies. Always on the hunt for something good, and I think most people are though. What do we got here? Yeah. All right. So, I saw a thing on this yesterday, day before, about Sharia law, and I'm all about religious freedom. You practice your religion and you do what you believe is right, but don't don't force your stuff on me, right? You want to practice Sharia law in your personal space and in your house, fine, whatever. Go nuts, but don't force it on me. I'm not Muslim. I'm never going to be Muslim. You can't force me to be Muslim. So don't be forcing your stuff on me. I don't believe it. So don't, right? Sharia law is fine. You want to go live Sharia law? Go to, I don't know, Saudi Arabia or Kuwait or Iran, Iraq, anywhere that practices Sharia law. You go over there and do it, but leave it. Do not force that on us, right? Don't want it, don't need it. We'll fight it tooth and nail. So I just think it's a it's a mistake to think that um, Islam is peaceful. It's not, right? You look, if anybody from the States is looking at what's going on in Toronto and back east, nearly every single day there are prayers in public streets. And I'm not talking like in public squares and stuff. No. I'm like, they block traffic, several hundred of these political stunt, Islamic stuntists. They block the street and they do their morning, afternoon, evening prayers in the middle of the street, blocking, and it's a lot, right? Beating drums, flying their flags. That's not what we want. That's not what anybody wants. So they do, which is obvious. Anyway. My dog. Hey, buddy. He's lonely. Everybody else is gone. Yeah, you wanted some people? Okay. All right. What else? I don't really have much else on my mind. Yeah. Don't really have much else on my mind, so you know what? I'm going to call it there. So thanks, anybody who watches this. That's it. That's all. There is no more. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll talk to y'all later.